How's it going on? I recently did a video where it was called Date Like a Man, and I vaguely went over the ways that a man dates, a real man. And every time I use the word man, I don't mean boy, and I don't mean the male species. I mean a man of integrity, and he's intentional. He's non-toxic, he's not abusive, he's loving, he's empathetic, he's a protector and a provider. That's what I mean when I say man, okay? So when I said date like a man, I kept that video pretty vague, and I decided to do this video here to go more in depth on what that process actually looks like, and I broke it down into 3 phases. So when you're dating, as a man, when you're dating, you can know like what to expect, what to look for, and how to pace yourself, how to behave like a man. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna break that process down to you. But before I get started, if you're new to this channel, my name is Jerome. This is the Superb Word. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment too. I read them all. I respond to them all. Now, first, I want to start off by not a quote, but like a little statement that I made regarding this topic, so that you'll understand my motive for even making a video like this. Women are getting burnt out with the narcissistic tactics in the early stages of a relationship. They're catching on. They are starting to run tests to test your character. They are identifying your lies earlier and running towards the good guys who you thought would finish last. Even if she tries to entertain them both, good and bad guys, she will very soon run out of interest for the bad guy and desperately pursue what's good for her. So that is what brings about videos like this, where I help good men who don't want to do the bad guy tactics see what the process looks like. Maybe encourage you to continue down your path of righteousness and until you finally get the desires of your heart, because that's what God is going to give you. If you are obedient and you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, you will eventually end up with the desires of your heart. And that's the goal. And it'll be authentic. It'll belong to you. You won't feel like you need to fight for it. None of that stuff. As long as you are a man who has done the work on your own because you wanted to and you weren't forced to, you are an obedient, God-fearing man, you will get the desires of your heart. Now, let me break down how, as a good man, dating actually looks, okay? I broke it down into 3 phases. Phase 1, and please note that phase 1 is post-introduction, post-exchange of phone numbers. So I'm not telling, this isn't a video on how to pick up women. That you do on your own. Whatever your approach is, that's how you do it. Wherever you met her, that's all up to you. I'll probably do a video on that later, but this video ain't helping you to get a girl, you know what I'm saying, or to pick up a girl. This is just showing you the process of when you are dating a woman that you already did the work of picking up yourself, how it's going to look as a good man for encouragement purposes. Phase 1. During your communication with her, you want to ask unusual questions that reveal her character, values, and intentions. Okay, so not what's your favorite color. You can start off with some basic questions in the beginning, but then you want to start asking real good questions. One of my favorite questions to ask a woman is, I'll ask her, so what values do you look for in a man? And this question is an open-ended question where she'd be forced to elaborate. So I won't get a one-word response to it. She has to tell me, oh, I'm looking for this, that, and the third. It articulates her values, because whatever she values in a man, she probably possesses those own values, hopefully. Though she probably possesses those values on her own, probably. And also, she's thinking to herself that only a man of value would ask me that kind of question. Okay? So, pretty much, it's going to showcase your own values, your character, and intentions to her, while you're trying to find out what her values, character, and intentions are. Okay? Women assume they know who you are based on the questions that you ask and the nature of the conversation. And that makes pretty much good sense, because if the first time I'm talking to you, I'm already sneaking in sexy sex and new windows and trying to get you to tell me something about yourself sexually, then you already know what my intentions are. And then you probably stop responding as a woman and move on to somebody who has more substance in their conversation. I'm pretty sure 100% out of 100 women would agree with what I just said right there. Okay? So this is a stage where it's very important that you avoid any love bombing behavior. You don't want to give like, you know, those phrases, or you don't want to say things like baby and honey and all of that stuff early on. You don't even know if you like this person yet. If that's your mentality, you won't do that. If you're, as soon as you talk to her, hey baby, as soon as you meet her, you're like, hey baby, hey honey, hey sweetie, sweet thing. If you're doing all that, that's love bombing. Why are you trying to get this person drawn into you sexually or even emotionally yet? You as a man are trying to see if she is what you like. You are not trying to see if you are what she likes. You're not trying to impress anybody. You've already done the work. You know you're the prize. You are going into this situation vetting her to see if she is something that you'd be interested in pursuing. That is the purpose of phase one as a man when you are dating. And now this video is really going to help you pace yourself, because this isn't the stage where you're having sex. This isn't the stage where you're sending someone money, cash apps, or even receiving any of those gifts. This is this is pretty much an observant stage where you are seeing if this woman is even a woman you can potentially see a future with, that you could take serious, to even move on to phase two. Okay? In this stage, most people are more than likely or most likely to embellish their achievements, their status, and desires for the other person to attempt to gain leverage and lock them in. Be different. Be your authentic self. Love bombing happens in stage one. Don't do that. Be yourself. Be that good man that you are. And don't let nobody discourage you. Don't watch none of these videos where they telling you all these tricks to make a girl chase you. You don't want nobody to chase you anyway. That's annoying. You don't want somebody blowing up your phone. You don't want somebody showing up at your job. You don't want that. Ew. You want somebody to pursue you in a healthy way. Okay? Moving on to stage two. Pretty much, before I move on to stage two, I have a small note here that in phase one, your primary goal is to see if this is the type of woman you can see yourself dating based on common interests, beliefs, values, morals, and intentions. Now I can move on because I kind of just paraphrased what I already said. Phase two, this is where dating begins. Okay? Meeting in person and seeing if the energy and vibes are still aligned and they feel right. This is where you'll find out if you've been catfished or not. Even if you met the person in person, you could have met them on a good day when you got the phone number, and when you see them later on, it's a different appearance. It's things that's different. Okay, so this is where you still would see if you've been catfished. Maybe the first time you met this person, she said her name was Ashley. Then when you meet her the second time around, you find out her name is Stephanie. You've been catfished. Somebody who lies about their name. If you lie about anything in the early stages, you're already showing me that you have no problem with lying. And women could defend that and say, well, you know, we have to lie to protect ourselves. That is exactly what a liar would say. Flat out. Ask any liar, why'd you lie? They lie to avoid accountability. They lie to protect their own vulnerability. So that's why liars lie. It is what it is, pimp. Next. You can observe their mannerisms, their body type, how they smell, their charisma, and overall attitude in person. This is like a second interview, pretty much. But in this phase, if things go well, you probably have some sense of humor, crack some jokes, good conversation, a few drinks, and have a good time. But pace yourself. There's a couple of keys I want you to realize in the dating stage that I follow, and hopefully you do the same thing because it's successful. Don't touch her. Do not touch her in an inappropriate way. Hugs, maybe maybe holding hands if you were trying to help her over a puddle or something, but I wouldn't hold hands this soon. Don't grab her, grope her. Don't sexualize her in any way. And definitely do not go in for a kiss on the first date. If she comes in for a kiss on the first date to you, you can accept it if you want. I wouldn't do anything dramatic. But, you know, a little kiss won't hurt. But at the same time, that does speak volumes to her dependency. Because you're kind of moving kind of fast. So again, as men, we are not trying to impress. We are looking for what's impressive. So you're going to be like, that was kind of soon in your head. You might not say anything because you don't want to judge her and make her feel uncomfortable or like a hoe or anything like that. But keep in mind, like, that was unprovoked. It's not a bad thing that she finds you that attractive. But at the same time, it's like, you as the man who is the leader need to control the pace of things. If things are starting to get a little bit faster, it's tempting as a man, especially a handsome man who gets a lot of attention. You're going to be like, whew, you're going to feel them vibes on the first date, but you got to hold on. You got to maintain discipline, baby. Okay? You got to do this right as a man. I'm going to keep saying that word. Not as a boy or just the male species. Okay? So don't touch her and don't kiss her. Okay? In this phase, you'll see if you like them and if you'd like to see them again. And conversations should elevate and be more frequently after this phase if both connected and want to see where things go. So in the dating phase, you want to be consistent. Your behavior needs to be how it was in the beginning. Your energy, your vibes, all of those things. Keys to remember in phase 2 is you want to be consistent in the way you reach out to her, maintain the same energy you started with, and pace yourself and do not rush things. That's keys to remember in phase 2. And it will lead you down a successful road. Okay? After a few dates, of being authentic and a gentleman and consistent, you'll either trigger her insecurities, kind of make her feel like this is too good to be true. She'll either become avoidant and back off of you, which it is a bad thing, kind of, but it's a good thing too, because this is a protective mechanism. Maybe she has had past trauma and people who started off in a good way and then they turn to be bad. So when a woman pulls back, be patient, bro. Let her come to you. Don't be like, don't zero double texting. Do not double text. You hit somebody up, hey, how you doing? If she don't respond to you, that's the end. Unfortunately, she is too closed off. She's emotionally unavailable. She cannot see herself moving forward with you, not because you're not a good guy. This is no reflection on who you are. This is a reflection on where she is in life, and you just dodged the bullet. So if she does do the pullback method, let her go. And if you're still available when she decides to circle the block, let her back in. It's a safe place. If you're not available, sorry, I moved on. Don't entertain people who aren't ready for you when you're ready for them. Because the way the relationship starts is the way it will end. You know, you got to maintain that behavior, because now you got to be okay with her disappearing. It's okay, she just wounded. No. In real life, we heal. We do what we got to do to heal ourselves. And I also have a video called Trauma versus Manipulation, where I describe this. When somebody who's been wounded in the past, they could, if it's done with manipulation, they could use their past traumas as the reason or as an excuse for their current behavior. Or if they are a healthy person who has been hurt before, you'll see over time with your good behavior that their guards start to fall. And that moves me on to the next point. You either expose her insecurities, like so, or you'll see her guards start to lower and she'll be more comfortable with you over time. So the time is completely dependent on her, how frequently you guys speak, how often you guys get a chance to go on dates. And as a man, pay for the date. Pay for the date, man. That is your contribution to her. If you view her as somebody that you would like to pursue, that is how she'll determine how serious you are. If you can't afford a very fancy date, don't do them then. One of my go-to dates is I like to go play pool, especially on the first date, because I'm probably spending 20, 40 bucks. And it's a good starter date because you probably pay $5 for the pool sticks at a pool hall, order a couple of drinks, probably be like another $19 for the drinks. You get to play 3 to 5 games, see who gets the best out of 5, make it fun, have some banter. She gets to walk around. You get to show her tricks if she doesn't already know them. Or if you don't know how to play either, be like, hey, I don't know how to play. I just like to do this because it stimulates my mind and I can still get to know you. And you ain't spend no money. On the next date, if you want to go out for seafood or something like that, or a movie or whatever, hey, y'all, now you're in a stage, you're in the dating stage. You can definitely spend a little bit more money, but it's up to you. You spend what you can afford, and if you can't afford to take her out the same week twice, wait till you get paid, bro. Or go out there and hustle up that money and then take her out on a date. But you should be paying for the dates. Now, if she offered to pay or go half, bing, green flag. But don't anticipate that. Never go on a date unless you got enough to cover the whole bill. Even if she pulls out her wallet and say, no, I got it. Even if she doesn't, if she showed up and all she got on is a skimpy dress and no wallet at all, you're paying, broskies. You're paying. As you should, though. As you should. You got a prize in front of you. She looking delicious. You need to be paying for that date. Okay. Moving on. So, after a few days of you being authentic, a gentleman, and consistent, this is where she'll decide if she wants to be involved with you longer. And you just maintain your discipline. And then that's what takes you into phase 3. Phase 3 I call the courtship. I'm not a dater. I'm a courter. I want to get to the stage where I'm courting a woman. I don't want to stay in the stage of dating a woman, because then that means I'm dating her. I'm keeping my options open and I'm dating somebody else. You see how much it can get a little costly, and you don't even know who's worth your time, and you're wasting all this money, and you're spreading yourself thin because you're dating multiple people, and then you forgot what one said and you're calling someone else's name, and then it comes tumbling down like Jenga. Don't do that. You can if you want to, but I wouldn't do that as a man. So in the courtship stage, this is where she loses interest in other people. You're standing out. You've been patient. You haven't brought up sex. You have entertained other intellectual areas of life with her. She's like, yes, I like this guy. You've been consistent. You've been respectful. No woman's going to disagree with what I'm saying right now. Okay? B, she starts to imagine a potential future with you. So she might outwardly express herself and be like, I really like you. I can see myself being with you. She might say that to you. If she says that to you, great. Great. If she doesn't, she's just going to be responsive, and she's going to make herself available to you whenever you want to see her again. She's going to answer and respond to all your phone calls and text messages in a respectful amount of time. Green light, buddy. Okay? And 3, when it's safe to do so, ask that woman to be your girlfriend. Yes, girlfriend. We're bringing that back. We're bringing girlfriend stage back. Girlfriend stage is kind of equivalent to being engaged. So if a woman says, I ain't trying to be nobody's girlfriend. If you were engaged to me, you'd be my girlfriend, because we can break up without a marriage yet. We can be engaged for 1 or 2, however long we want to. So depending on the woman, and maybe this is a question you'd ask, do you believe in the girlfriend stage? I do. But then again, I've never been married before. So I would ask this woman to be my girlfriend. And I would ask this woman to be my girlfriend before we ever even had sex. So me asking you to be my girlfriend means that I want to pursue you and only you. We are exclusive. I'm not interested in anybody else. Now it's safe to indulge in intimacy. Now it's safe to say, hey, I have a girlfriend. And you successfully went from phase 1 to 3 as a man. and with the woman that you feel like is a prize, and you also are the prize to her in her eyes, recipe for success. Okay? Now, marriage and things like that, those are, I wouldn't even think about stuff like that for at least 2 years. Especially if you haven't moved in or lived with a woman or even seen how she lives, I wouldn't even be discussing marriage. But that's a whole nother video. But that is what dating looks like as a man. And that's what you can expect if you do it right and if you know how to pace yourself. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. Share it. Again, my name is Jerome, and this is a Superb Word, and I'm glad to be with you. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll be with you shortly.